Hey guys, it's Rich. Hey guys, it's Rich. Today we're going to share a real brief. Yeah, what province? Man, broke my signage. 3 today. Bringing you another. Guys, thanks for watching this too. Oh. All right, guys, gals. Quick pro tip. I see these posts all the time. How do I get in touch with Lyft? A few years ago, to curb call center costs, Lyft changed up their contact system, and they primarily try to drive you through channels of either email or text for most instances. Obviously if there's a serious safety issue, or a passenger threatens you or makes a false allegation that you threaten them, they will reach out to you by phone. Those are the only instances either one of these companies will ever reach out to you by phone. Obviously, don't fall for the phishing schemes we're all aware of, where a rider texts you saying, hey, please call this number. You're going to get a $100 bonus for your great driving or whatever it is. Those are all scams. Don't ever fall for them. Don't call them. If it's a passenger, I see some drivers. I'm going through the car wash, by the way, so hopefully you're catching this. But I see some drivers like pulling up and getting their cancellation fee. I rarely get that. I think I've only had 1 in 15,000 rides. I do think most of these scammers look at the driver's ride count on Uber and they know he's not going to get scammed. So they just don't bother and they cancel the ride before the 2 minutes is up. But usually I cancel and move on to the next ride. My best advice for dealing with Uber and Lyft is try to deal with them as infrequently as possible, because all you're going to do is get upset. But you do occasionally have to deal with them. So in the Lyft app, I'm going to share a screenshot or a video capture here in a moment, but I'll walk you through it too from the Lyft app. What you're going to want to do if you want to get them to call you, again, you can't call them. I've tried the 3 numbers in my phone for Lyft, including their critical support line. They're no longer available. So they've switched it to this outbound call campaign. It's to put some friction up there too, and to keep the nuisance calls down. To be frank, man, I think one of the big reasons neither one of these companies is going to turn a profit for a while is just so many nuisance calls from drivers about little shit. Again, I call these companies as infrequently as I possibly can. Last night I did have to reach out to Lyft. Someone, when I pulled up at a really like one of the most dangerous streets in Vegas that I usually would just cancel on, they weren't out there. I mean, she texted me saying I'm outside with the walker. I want to help those people out. Obviously they're disabled, but there were gangbangers out on the street. I drove by. It's another reason I don't use these amps, and my trade dress isn't permanently attached to my window. I removed that shit, man. I don't want anyone to think, oh, that's a Lyft or Uber driver, he's got money. So anyway, when I pulled back, one of the ladies said, you drove right by us, motherfucker. And I said, yeah, I'm going to keep driving on right by. Your ride's canceled. And I reached out to Lyft because I know I could get the false racial allegation claim when that had nothing to do with it. And they have my ride count and know I've picked up riders of all colors, creeds, persuasions, everything. Anyway, what you're going to do in the Lyft app, you're going to click on your picture in the upper left. You're going to scroll down. On my tab bar, looks to be the 8th tab. You're going to click on help. Let me get out of the car wash here so I don't get, well, there's no one behind me. So you're going to click on the help button, and then you're going to click on what ride you're referring to, even if it's a cancellation. I reached out and went through a text message with one of their representatives. You'll click on see other rides if you're looking for a certain ride. You'll click on that ride, and here's how you get them to call you. There's a bunch of different ways in here, but you're going to have to pick a reason you're not calling for. I always click on issue with a passenger, and then I click on passenger was unsafe, and then you scroll to the bottom and click on contact us, and it gives you 2 options, message or call. So click on the call button, your number will be populated. They'll outbound call you, put you in a little queue. Usually, or at least my experience, and I don't call these companies that frequently. They usually answer right away. Anyway, I'm going to share the video real quick on the screen capture to walk you through it, and I'll be back. guys, hopefully that was helpful. It's pretty simple. I'm not a technological pro there, so I couldn't circle or show you, but what I did was I outlined, in the previous section of the video, clicking on your picture, then the help tab, and then finding one of those issues. The one I used is the passenger was unsafe, to get Lyft to call you, regardless of what the matter's for. Hopefully that'll help you out and have some success. Pro tip too, man, when dealing with these companies, you are usually talking to someone who makes less money than you do. And I know it's hard. It's really difficult. I've blown up at them too before. But man, especially if you're calling Uber overseas, these folks are literally living on crumbs. Someone actually posted on our Facebook page that when they called the other day, they heard a chicken, squawking in the background. I mean, they're probably working out of home. So my pro tip for you guys, be friendly, be nice. You catch a lot more flies with honey than vinegar. I usually say, hey, how are you doing today? And just get the conversation started. Oh, I'm fine. How are you? Oh, I'm doing great, but I felt like I had to call you. I just recently had an issue with a rider, and I wasn't sure what to do. I'm hoping you can help me out. And then I go into the details. There's a myth out there too, or at least I don't think it's true, that if you're rude to them, they can actually ding you and give you a 1-star and lower your rating. I've seen drivers post that before, that, yeah, my rating went lower after I blew up at Uber. With Lyft, man, I do believe it though, that they will block your calls. Maybe Uber too. If you're calling and getting belligerent with them, who wants to deal with someone who's belligerent and argumentative, even though you're upset, and in most instances rightly so, but remember this: there is no job in America that you go into every day and your coworkers, your customers, they're perfect and everything goes swimmingly. Just take these negative or miserable or rides that go south with a grain of salt. Move on to the money, forget about them. You got to have a short-term memory in this game, because if you don't, you're going to be negative, and it's going to impact your pay. Could even impact your driving. You'll be thinking about this incident while you're driving and not paying attention. So forget about it. Be done with it. My personal thing, I don't send in, battle with them for cancellation fees. Again, see the, because of that glitch with the Uber app, and with Lyft too. I mean, if they're in a gated community and you can't hit arrive and they don't respond back with a gate code and it's 1:30 a.m., you can't get in. And then you're not going to get the cancellation because you clicked the button that said you arrived anyway. Yeah, it's frustrating, but they had to put these safeguards in place because of previous drivers who were pulling up around the corner, hitting accept, and arrived and starting the ride and collect. The cancellation fee thieves is what I like to call them, and they're still out and about. So try to do your best to find your riders and take care of them. Again, I hope this was helpful. Leave a comment or reach out to rich@vegaskickback.com if you got any topics you'd like to see covered. I don't know it all, but I try to find the answers. Like Will Smith in Pursuit of Happiness, I may not know the answer, but I will find the answer. Be funny, make money, guys.